Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe, Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Ranitai, Ranitai, Jaya Gaur. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada. Nityai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nityai Gora Hari Bol. Nityai Gora Hari Bol. Goy Kurubulande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse number 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rajas, please repeat. Rajas, Tamas, Chabibuya, Sattvam, Bhavati, Bharata, Raja, Sattvam, Tamas, Chaiva, Tama, Sattvam, Rajas, Tata, Rajas, Tamas, Chabiuya, Sattvam, Bhavati, Bharata, Rajas, Sattvam, Tamas, Chaiva, Tamasatvam Rajastata. Rajastamas Chabibuya. Sattvam Bhavati Bharata. Rajasattvam Tamas Chaiva. Tamasatvam Rajastataha. Rajastamas Chabibuya. Sattvam Bhavati Bharata. Rajasattvam Tamas Chaiva. Tamasatvam Rajastataha. Anybody has Bhagavad Gita? It's on the screen. Okay, would you like to repeat? Rajastamas Chabibuya. Sattvam Bhavati Bharata. Rajasattvam Tamas Chaiva. Tamasatvam Rajastataha. Would you like to try? Read it. Rajastamas Chabibuya. Sattvam Bhavati Bharata. Rajasattvam Tamas Chaiva. Tamasatvam Rajastaha. Would you like to try? Read. Rajastamas Chabibuya. Sattvam Bhavati Bharata. Rajasattvam Tamas Chaiva. Tamasatvam Rajastataha. Who would like to try? You did together, huh? Very good, well done. What did you want to read? It's easy. And few words, Rajas, Tamas and Sattvam are repeated. So try it. Rajas, Tamas, Chabibuya. Sattvam bhavati bharata. Rajas sattvam tamas cheva. Tamas sattvam rajas tataha. Thank you. Well done. Right. You want to try? Yeah? You want to try? Go on.
Rajas tamas kabhibha.
Rajas tamas cha vibhuya.
Sattvam bhavati bharata.
Sattvam bhavati bharata.
Rajas tatum tamaskeva.
Rajas sattvam tamas cheva.
Tamas satamam rajas tatha.
Tamas sattvam rajas tatha. Very good. Well done. Well, we had two teams and all family efforts. Well done. Thank you. Okay, I'll read word by word. Please repeat. Raja, the mode of passion. Tama, the mode of ignorance. Cha, also. Abhibuya, surpassing. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Bhavati, becomes prominent. Bharata, O son of Bharata. Rajaha, the mode of passion. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Tamaha, the mode of ignorance. Cha also. Eva like that. Tamaha, the mode of ignorance. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Rajaha, the mode of passion. Tatha, thus. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Purport. Let's repeat. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance. And at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Purport. When the mode of passion is prominent, the modes of goodness and ignorance are defeated. When the mode of goodness is prominent, passion and ignorance are defeated. And when the mode of ignorance is prominent, passion and goodness are defeated. This competition is always going on. Therefore, one who is actually intent on advancing in Krishna consciousness has to transcend these three modes. The prominence of some certain mode of nature is manifested in one's dealings, in his activities, in eating, etc. All this will be explained in later chapters. But if one wants, he can develop by practice the mode of goodness and thus defeat the modes of ignorance and passion. One can similarly develop the mode of passion and defeat goodness and ignorance, or one can develop the mode of ignorance and defeat goodness and passion. Although there are these three modes of material nature, if one is determined, he can be blessed by the mode of goodness, and by transcending the mode of goodness, he can be situated in pure goodness, which is called the Vasudeva state, a state in which one can understand the science of God. By the manifestation of particular activities, it can be understood in what mode of nature one is situated. Okay, we do a short prayer, ask blessings of all the acharyas, and also asking blessing of all the Vaishnavas, and then we will discuss the verse. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostete Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Virshabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rajastamascha vibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata Rajasattvam tamascheva tamasattvam rajastatha. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Well, this chapter is called The Three Modes of Material Nature. And in this verse, so many times is repeated Rajas, Tamas, and Sattvam, the mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. What are these modes? In fact, this chapter is a very short chapter, but in other chapter continues talking about these three modes. But even in this short chapter, 27 verses, 20 verses explains to us about these modes, what they are, their definition, and their symptoms of each of the modes. And why is it important to know about these three modes? In fact, Prabhupada, in the very beginning of this chapter, in the first verse, Prabhupada says that understanding, he says that by understanding these three modes, then we are able to overcome them and not be influenced by them, so that we could free ourselves from these three modes. So it seems that these three modes should be defeated. It's like the enemy. But why they are like the enemy? Have you all seen this picture of the three puppeteers? Have you seen? Yeah. Well, have a look. This is from the Science of Self-Realization, but you probably will find this picture in many other Prabhupada's books. It says, by the picture, it says, whether boss or laborer, master or servant, president or prisoner, everyone is under the tight control of the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. There are three puppeteers. Each of them represents one of these three modes. So since they are puppeteers, who are the puppets? We are the puppets. And, they're kind of moving their threads, so moving our hands, our legs, like that. So we are acting, whichever mode of nature is controlling us, then we are acting according to that mode. However, today's verse says that we're not, even though Radha Gokulananda ki jaya, Sitaram Lakshman Hanumani ki jaya, Gauranitai ki jaya. Today's verse is telling us that this could change. Sometimes the mode of goodness could control us, sometimes mode of passion, sometimes mode of ignorance, or a mixture of them. In any case, we can remain under their influence and being played by the puppeteers. But also, the good news is that we can also free ourselves from this. And why is it important to free ourselves? If we understand what these modes are, what influence they have on us, then we can understand that we need to go beyond these modes. We need to not, first move from ignorance to passion to goodness. Like Prabhupada said in this verse, that if we are blessed, we can be under the influence of the mode of goodness. But we can also go beyond that and not being influenced at all. Like Prabhupada says, again in today's verse, that one who is intent on advancing in Krishna consciousness has to transcend these three modes. Prabhupada explains again in the beginning of the chapter that it says how important it is to understand this chapter in particular and generally about the three modes. Out of all, this section of Bhagavad Gita, the last 6 chapters is jnana, it's all knowledge. We kind of, the middle 6 chapters were about devotional service, but this is the knowledge. But out of all the knowledge, all the jnana that we learn in these three, in 6 chapters, learning about 3 modes of material nature is the most important, and in fact so important that Prabhupada says, by understanding this knowledge, various sages attained perfection, and it is expected that one who understands chapter 14 will attain perfection. But how? Of course, by defeating them, by not allowing them to, going beyond them, transcend to, going to the transcendental platform and being able to, then we can really perform real devotional service. Up to that point, okay, we're doing devotional service, we're doing chanting, reading, deity worship, cleaning the temple, anything, we try to please Krishna, but we are so much influenced by the different modes of nature. And, but why out of these, what are these modes? Where do they actually come from? In previous chapter, in chapter 13, we learned about the nature, the field of the body, the knower of the body, all that. This was also part of the, jnana. But, we learned about the 24 elements of material nature. And it's all good. It's all good knowledge, but it doesn't make too much difference whether we know or not. What are they? It's good to know what this material nature is made of, what we are made of, and all that. But after that, the 24 elements, it actually includes the you know about the 5 gross elements, 3 gross, 3 subtle elements. You know about the 24 elements that the material nature is made of? Okay, I just quickly go through it. You probably have heard it. We have 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Then there are sense objects: sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. There are 5 knowledge-acquiring senses: ear, skin, eye, tongue, and nose. There are 5 working senses: voice, legs, arms, reproductive organs, and evacuating organs. And then there are 3 subtle elements: false, ego, intelligence, and mind. And then further than that is what is called pradhana. Pradhana is the unmanifested form of the 3 modes of nature. So this kind of is one of the subtle element. Then we have time, the mixing element. These all are Mahatattva, the whole material nature. And then, of course, so this brings us to 25 elements. And then, of course, the soul is the life element, is the spiritual element. But out of all the material elements, knowing and understanding pradhana, the 3 modes of material nature, is the most important one. That is what could make difference in our life. So therefore, that's why Prabhupada says, actually, this knowledge, this part of jnana, is superior to all the other jnana. And it is expected that one who understands the 14th chapter will attain perfection. Right. And then there's some definition about the three modes. What is the mode of goodness? What is the mode of passion? And what is the mode of ignorance? And then explains the symptoms of them. And then brings us, so by symptoms we can actually recognize the modes, and we can recognize which of the puppeteers is moving moving us. So what happens, all the other elements, these three modes of nature, these pradhana, it kind of depending of all the activities we do, all the relationship and combination of all the other 24 elements is kind of controlled by these three modes, but this pradhana. So I'm sure you all know, but if you haven't read Bhagavad Gita, maybe you can guess that what could be the definition of the, let's start from goodness, huh? But what is the mode of goodness, you think? Yes. Well, from the name we can understand, anything good. Anything good, is in the mode of goodness. But what is that anything good? The definition of it is, here says, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by the sense of happiness and knowledge. So, knowledge not in the sense that, we know maths and chemistry and physics. Knowledge in the sense that knowing what is what, being clear in the mind. I know what I need to do. Sometimes we are so confused and, our mind is so cloudy, we're not sure, if I'm doing the right thing or not. So that kind of in the mode of ignorance. But when I'm sure you have experienced that when sometimes you make a decision and you're clear, that you're making the right decision, okay, based on whatever happened or whatever but that is the knowledge. That is when we know what is what. And of course, another knowing what is that we know who we are. We know that, what is the soul, what is the body, all the knowledge that Bhagavad Gita tells us, of course, helps us to clear our mind. So that here, Krishna says it is illuminating. And then it says, free us from the sinful reaction. So we know what is right, what is wrong, what we should do, what we should not do. When these are all clear in our mind, this is the influence of the mode of goodness. And of course, other things, this is more related to the mind, but to the body, cleanliness, is in the mode of goodness. So, when they, being tidy, clean, everything in order, these all have the influence of goodness for us. And we will come back to see, how we can actually help ourselves to be more in the mode of goodness. Quickly, I go through mode of passion. What do you think, is the definition and symptoms of mode of passion? Sorry? Right. Um, do you mean kind of wanting things, desiring things, or because curiosity is could be more if it's to do with knowledge and clarity, that could be more in the mode of goodness. But yeah, wanting things, having here it says the mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. Maybe that's what you meant by curiosity, longing for something. Because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. So passion is, like the word says, being, very passionate and want things done, which in some way you could say it's good, but if we don't have the knowledge, we only want the results, then that brings us more to the mode of passion. Just, let's do it. Sometimes patience required, but some people who are in the mode of passion, they don't have patience. They want things quick and the results and the way they want it, all that, and also acquiring things, whether it's wealth, even acquiring, unnecessary knowledge, that could also be in the mode of passion. And in general, the modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of the mode of passion. I think we all experience that, both in ourselves and watching the society so much in the mode of passion. Then the mode of ignorance is darkness born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The result of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. So laziness, sleeping, uncleanness, these are all in the mode of passion, in the mode of ignorance. But then today's verse, and in general, when we are more in the mode of goodness, we are much happier, and passion, we kind of a lot of actions, and kind of we go up and down. We sometimes wanting or rejecting, all that, there's no balance. And ignorance, actually there's madness, no knowledge, blindness, all that. But then today's verse, it says, okay, we learned all about these goodness, these three modes, and we may recognize a lot of it within us, but it doesn't mean that one is always in one mode. It could change. Sometimes you are in the influence of goodness, sometimes in the passion, and sometimes ignorance. And sometimes it is, we try to choose. Right? Well, we can, even though they are the puppeteers controlling us, but we can, by changing our circumstances, we can choose which mode to be more under the influence. So we can choose that. But once we are under the influence of whichever, then we are controlled by them. But there are certain things that maybe it's not our choice, and we are just automatically influenced by these modes. For example, the time of the day, right? We cannot change the time of the day, and we have to go through all the 24 hours. But when we know which time of the day is more under which mode, then we can choose our activities. I'm sure you have also experienced that early morning. How do you feel in the early morning? Do you feel more passionate wanting to do this, or you want to relax, meditate, read, or, being, quiet like that, yeah? Is it not like that? Early in the morning? Do you get up early in the morning? Yeah, it's very peaceful time. Yeah, it's very different. The atmosphere, the effect of it, whether we want it or not, the effect of it is very different from midday. And it's very different from nighttime, isn't it? So this is just part of the nature, You cannot change that influence early morning. And we have to go through it. But because early morning is in the mode of goodness, therefore our mind is sharp, our mind is clear, right? It's recommended, do the meditation early in the morning, do the study in the morning, that kind of activities. If we do it early in the morning, then we get the maximum benefit. If we want to do meditation at midday, we have to really force ourselves to be able to focus. Early in the morning, it's just easy. You can easily focus. Even when you chant, sometimes I feel that the chanting goes even faster. You just think, oh, that was, but if I don't finish my rounds early in the morning, it's like it drags all day. In the midday, you think, oh, only one round, oh my God, and then you cannot, pay. It's much easier to be attentive early in the morning. So therefore, it's recommended to do Hare Krishna, to do our chantings early in the morning, because the influence of the mode of goodness is there. And then midday is normally in the mode of passion, activity. That's why most of the jobs are 9 to 5, right? Because it's much, the sun, is kind of gives the energy, and it's you can. When you want to do things, it's best to do it during the day. Then you get better results from whatever activity we do. We still have to work, we still have to do a lot of activities, but it's best to do it during the day. And nighttime, the mode of ignorance. So that's why sleep is, best done during the night. You get, we still need to sleep, but if we sleep at nighttime, ideally from 9 to maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, that time, we get actually the best quality sleep, right? Even though it's in the mode of ignorance, but we still need sleep. So it's best to use it, to do it at the time that we get the best benefit from that. So, like that, so many other things. The place we live, different environments, countryside is in the mode of goodness mostly, in the city is mode of passion. Dump places, is in the mode of ignorance. So, and naturally, we avoid dirty dumping places. We naturally more attracted to countrysides. So it's best, in order to increase the mode of goodness in our life, we can actually choose the place we live, the food we eat, even the clothes we wear. The quality of the garments, it affects us. The food, we don't have much time. Let's just go through what kind of food are in the mode of goodness, what kind of food in the mode of passion and ignorance. Huh? general, as a general category, you could say fresh food, right, is in the mode of fresh, and also more vegetables, fruits, these more in the mode of goodness. Fried food, that kind of more brings us more to the mode of passion. And guess what is in the mode of ignorance? Yeah, processed food. Meat definitely is in the mode of ignorance, but even the vegetables and fruits, if they are processed and like you said, what was the word you used? Yes, yes. So that kind of brings it more in the mode of ignorance. So the kind you all heard, we are what we eat. What is it that the food affects us? We become like that food. If we eat fresh food, then we are affected. Naturally, we are affected by that. Both the body is affected and also the mind. So we can choose what kind of food to eat in order to help us to come more to the mode of goodness. I don't know. Do you have any other examples about the things that we use in daily life which influence us with different modes? We talked about the tongue. We talked about this things we wear, the skin, the eyes, the environment that we watch. Also through ears, what we hear. Naturally, when you hear good news, you feel happy. You are in the mode of goodness. When you hear, bad news, it really immediately it affects us, doesn't it? So that's why, a lot of people in the media, it's recommended, not to listen too much to bad news. It affects our mind naturally. So, and also through reading, the type of books you choose to read. It all influences us. So anyway, like Prabhupada said in today's verse, we have to try to bring us ourselves to the mode of goodness. All our activities, helps us to come more into the mode of goodness, but that should not be for a devotee, should not be ultimate aim. We need to go even beyond that and not even being influenced by the mode of goodness. Not that we don't want to be happy or, knowledgeable and all that, but even mode of goodness can limit us. Could limit us, can kind of, if we are, create a situation for a life, with family, wealth, housing and all that, all to be in the mode of goodness, then we can become attached to it. And then not wanting, going further than that. But devotional, here Prabhupada says that we have to, in order to advance in Krishna consciousness, in the spiritual life, we have to transcend even these three modes. So, but we need to know them, we need to know what they are, the symptoms, recognize it within ourselves, make choices in order to bring us more to the mode of goodness, but then by that, helps us to be to practice, to do a better practice, And then by chanting and reading and all that, more in the mode of goodness, then Krishna will help us to go beyond that and just do anything, just do it basically to please Krishna. And of course the main service that is recommended is chanting the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The curtain is going to open in a minute and we're all going to chant. Hare Krishna. I'd like to
श्री राधा गोकुल नंद की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की. Start the Gora Arti now. I think the wordings should appear on the screen soon. Ki bajayo jayo Gora Chandere Arati ko sobha. Ki bajayo jayo Gora Chandere Arati ko sobha. Tatavane jag man lobha. Janavi tatavane jag man lobha. Dakhin nitai chan ratna simbasane. Mame gadadhar Dakhin nitai chan Mame gadadhara. Nikate advaita shrimi vasa chatradhara. Mosi tate Gora Chan Ratna Simbasane. Mosi jate Gora Chan Ratna Simbasane. Arati kore na Brahma Adi Devagane Arati kore na Brahma Adi Devagane Narahari Adi Kori Kamar Dhulaya Narahari Adi Kori Kamar Dhulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Ghosadigaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Ghosadigaya Shankha baje ghanta baje baje kartala Shankha baje ghanta baje baje kartala Madhura mridanga baje Paramarasala Madhura mridanga baje Paramarasala Shankha baje ghanta baje Madhur 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 baje Shankha baje ghanta baje Madhur 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 baje Madhur 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 baje Madhur 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 baje Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai बहु कोटि चंद्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला बहु कोटि चंद्रजीनी